Welcome everyone, I'm Ryan, and today we're going to make a soul counter. First thing you need, stack of lost souls, a knife, super glue, your ruler, an ink pen, five beads, a paper clip, and some wire cutters or something else to cut the paper clip with. So let's go ahead and get started. And the beads went everywhere. Now if you haven't seen my other video about making a 3D redemption card, this is going to be very much like that, and I highly recommend check that video out. I'll put a link in the description. But first, we'll start with our Lost Soul card. Now on this one, all we're cutting out is the scripture box at the bottom. So we'll go ahead and cut that out. You want to cut it out so it looks like that. Now I've went ahead and I have cut out the rest of them just to save time. I did have to use one other Lost Soul, but for the rest of them I just used the same card. And from here you want to start gluing them together. Just like before, put a nice even line of glue around the border. Line them up and press them down. Now for this one, I think I used about 10 cards for the spacers. And of course we're going to put a card on the back. Now, depending on the size of your beads, you will need different amounts of cards. Like I said, I think I used about 10 cards in total for this. So once we get most of them glued together, take your back card, and we're going to take one of our beads. We're just going to kind of set it in there. We're just going to kind of line it up, just to make sure that once we put our metal through, it actually has space to move back and forth. And of course, periodically you will have to pick your beads up off the floor. I'm actually going to put a couple more on to make it a little thicker. Now at this point, I have all spacer cards glued together. I have 3 remaining cards with the holes cut out of them, and this is the important step. At this point, put the super glue away for a minute. You want to get that paper clip out, and you want to unbend it. And try to bend it as straight as you can. So it's like so. Then take your beads and go ahead and put the beads back on, or put the beads on it. There's 4, and I need to pick the other one up off the floor again. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. Now at this point, take your metal cutters and snip one of the ends of it off. If I can get these to cut. And there we go. Now, what you want is you need to bend the metal into a U shape, but we need to test the distance of it. So, get your card out, and what you want is you want the wire to go across the hole with the U part bent on the ends. So just take a moment, kind of line it up in the center, figure out how long you need to make it, and then bend the end. And this may take a moment, just kind of bending the paper clip back and forth and getting it back straight. And you want it something like that. That way the paper clip goes across and it has the bent ends sticking up on it. Now at this point, take one of your other Lost Soul cards. We're going to place that right there on top. Place your paper clip back on it. Get your ink pen, and you're going to want to mark on this card where the metal pieces are at. And take your time doing this. Because what we're going to do with this card is we're actually going to cut out these little slots. That way the paper clip will actually sit level with this card. That way when we glue it all back together, it won't stick up or you won't have any large lumps or bumps in your card. And then once we have that mostly marked out, get your knife back out, and you just simply want to cut out those markings you made. Because like I said, you want the paper clip to sit level inside of this card. or sit flat with it inside of these little cuts you're making. Now it's never going to be perfect, but just try to get it the best you can. And of course, if all else fails, just add a little extra super glue. And once you have those notches, you can test fit it. That's actually not too bad. I think we're going to cut this one a little bit more. And there we go. Let's go ahead and glue our new spacer card with the notches in it. We'll go ahead and glue that onto the rest of the spacers, and then we will glue in the wire with the beads on it. And the reason why you put those little notches and the little U-bends on your paper clip is just to give it strength. Line that up. Press it down. And from here, set your paper clip in where the little slots are, and just go ahead and take some super glue and drop them directly on that wire. Now don't be afraid to put too much, because this is just going to cement everything in place so nothing wiggles about. Let that sit for a quick second. Now we still have two more, and these two we're going to glue directly on top once that's done. So we'll go ahead and throw some super glue on, and we will finish this one up. And with this one you can put some extra super glue on the metal wires themselves. Lay that down and press everything in. And we're going to put one more card on the top. Make sure to press it all down where you don't have any air bubbles or any lumps underneath the cards. Yeah, it looks pretty good. And then on the back you want to put your glue and put your regular card to give it a back. And there we go. Now you have a fancy way to keep track of how many redeemed souls you have. Just a cool little thing to show off to your friends. I will make a couple more of these, and I will have these for sale on my eBay page. I'll put a link in the description for that. And of course, all profits will go to promote Redemption and to support this YouTube channel. So thank y'all, and y'all have a great day.